Several months ago, I did a video here that many of you probably missed, and we were talking about different types of fresh fragrances. Our focus of that video was one of those categories which I call sexy fresh. And this is a great category for the upcoming warmer months because these are fragrances that I think work perfectly in all black, as per the title, at night with some heat because they are fresh on a night out. So when you want to be sexy, when you want to be attractive and alluring and have that confidence about you and just have your fragrance complement all of that vibe, I have some picks for you to consider. So let's dive right into it. This first one up here is a little bit of a grown and sexy fragrance. This is not going to be for everyone. This is for the more mature personality, the more classy personality, but I have to say, I've loved this fragrance more and more as I've smelled it throughout the years. I didn't absolutely love it when I first got it. There was some kind of weird quality to it. I feel like the scent has possibly changed over time. Just from sitting, it's gotten more rich and full. From Dior, we have Sauvage Parfum, the 2017 version. I used to get something papery in a weird way from this fragrance that I don't get anymore. Nonetheless, what does it smell like? This is bright citruses. Mouth-watering, juicy, fresh citrus, but with a resinous backing. There's something kind of sticky and warm backing the citruses, and behind that is woods. I think we have quite a bit of vetiver in here. So we have some dry woods. It is a little bit bitter and bright and fresh, but woody and kind of balsamic and full, and there's a thickness to this fragrance even though it is fresh. Again, classy stuff. Night out, wear it in all black, they better watch out. Sauvage Parfum 2017 from Dior. I will admit this is a fragrance that I was fooled into buying when it came out simply because I went to Bloomingdale's, I smelled it on the strip. The sales associate was like, "Do you love it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really do." So I bought it. I actually didn't get to wear it for a week or so because then I went out of town. I came back, I finally put it on my skin and I was like, okay, this is not what I expected. It's not what I got on the paper. But after giving it some wearing, it's really started to open up and it's shown me like, man, this is not only a really sexy, fresh fragrance to wear at night, but it's also kind of unique. It's a little bit different. Coming from the house of Burberry, this is Mr. Burberry Eau de Parfum. This is a flanker to the original, which is also really nice. Both composed by Francis Kirkjohn, so you can't go wrong there. This is kind of a dark, fresh patchouli fragrance. There's a little bit of a spicy quality, a little bit of a citrusy quality, but there are some dry spices in there, and there's definitely a little bit of this earthiness that is well balanced. It is a sexy take on fresh. It's not all that sweet, and sweetness can add sexiness to a scent, but nonetheless, this is still very sexy. It's classy because it's not quite as sweet. I would consider it maybe a little bit more mature, but not as mature as the Dior. Has a little bit more of an elevated vibe. Dress this up in all black once again, very attractive. And again, a little bit different, off the beaten path from your normal designer freshies. That is Mr. Burberry Eau de Parfum. Up next is another fragrance that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect a whole lot out of this when the brand first said, "Hey, can we send this to you?" I said, okay. I got a sample of it first and I put it on my skin and I'm like, okay, it's about what I expected. Kind of has this fresh out of the shower gel feel. Classic modern man fresh. But as it dried on the skin, it changed a bit. It gets this warm, ambery kind of sweetness in there that is sexy. This is coming from Malul. This is called Ocean Noir, one of their newest releases for men. Yes, it's going to remind you of some other fragrances that you've tried in the designer realm. Maybe something along the lines of Versace Dylan Blue. Does not smell quite like that. For being such a blue fragrance, following the trend, it is very smooth. It's very high quality. There's nothing really sharp about this. It is simple without being basic. Super easy to wear, and there's something about the darkness of the fragrance that again makes it perfect for the nighttime. It has a beautiful duality, kind of ocean fresh, but also again this dark, sweet, ambery, enigmatic richness that is subtle, but it does play well to the freshness and give it a slightly different character. Really nice stuff. Use the code, I think it's STAYFRESH20. Save 20% off all orders from Malul. Maybe give this one a sample. Nothing crazy, nothing super different, but undeniably pleasant and will get the job done if the job is you being attractive at night wearing all black in the summertime. Very specific job, but this will help. From one of my favorite houses that honestly produces a number of niche fragrances, if you're asking me, more about that in this video. Cartier. Few rose fragrances in the designer realm are like this. This is Déclaration d'un Soir. Wow. Bright and dark at the same time. There is a bit of a bright pepperiness. There's quite a bit of spicy black pepper in here, surrounding a fresh, almost herbaceous rose, but there is a little bit of a jammy sweetness in there. The spice and the rose are so well put together that it doesn't smell overly rosy. Maybe there's some woods backing it up. So romantic. This is a fragrance I would wear when I'm going out with someone, maybe on a date, but I'm still wearing all black. There's a little bit of heat in the air because there is a freshness to this that it will help it stay light and lively and not overpower anyone. Simply stunning and quite unique for a rose fragrance, especially in the designer realm, which kind of makes me think of it as a niche fragrance. It does have a very distinct and focused identity to its scent profile. It's not going to appeal to everyone. It kind of does have a little bit of a niche audience in terms of the scent. That is Cartier Déclaration d'un Soir. And finally, a fragrance you probably have never heard of, and few of you have probably tried. This is coming from Malul, a very unique take on oud. Oud made fresh and sexy. This is called Sunset Oud. This is another duality of light and dark, which I think that duality works perfectly for this scenario. Wearing fresh fragrances at night in the heat that you want to have a sexy edge, that are not overly citrusy or overly aromatic or overly aquatic. You want some depth in there. You want some multifaceted qualities, and this has it. This is very bright and juicy yuzu mixed with some herbs. So it is bright and aromatic for sure, but as it dries down, you do have a little bit of a resinous quality from myrrh. Definitely some fresh vetiver in there, even maybe a touch of lavender to keep it fresh, but it starts to darken. That oud starts to come out more. It's a dry, woody oud. There's a little bit of an ambery quality, so it does get a little sweeter on the skin as it dries. Still a little bit fresh from that vetiver, which sticks around a bit. This is classy stuff. I would still not quite call it as mature as the Dior, but it is on the elevated side of things. It is on the mature side of things. The average young guy is probably not going to care for this fragrance, but there's something captivating about it. And I haven't really smelled much like this outside of maybe another fragrance from the brand called Lunar Vetiver, which is one of my favorite fragrances, period. But this is a different take on oud. A very easy to wear oud for the summer nights. Wear it in all black like this bottle and thank me later. That's gonna do it for me. I would love to know, have you tried any of these fragrances? I'm trying to be a little bit more practical with my list videos. We need an approach that tells you guys some options, some things to consider of how and where to wear these fragrances. Not just simply, oh, they smell good, so you should buy them. No, once you get it, then what? Just trying to bring it to you in a way that's digestible and accessible and applicable. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.